but I don't believe we can do justice to them. I would say whatever time that you spend on your social media, whatever is your time, please spend 5% of your social media time to say something about these people. A trip like this is, I think all of you by now, you know that almost 18 years ago near Cookville, something very profoundly touched me about what happened in this area. So, that's one reason when people came with various recommendations for land for the center, I said, we'll go here. Well, it's beautiful, but it's the pain in the land which brought me here. People who are here during the Mahima consecration have seen certain things which kind of represented that. Well, now exploring the Native American culture, not that anybody can do it in 36 days, because at one time there were over 500 nations. They're all being labeled as just one people now, as one identity. But there were 500 individual nations with their own languages, their own culture, their own spiritual process. It will need a lot more time. It's really a lifetime to do justice to all of them. But I don't believe we can do justice to them for what they have been through, who they are, how long they've been here. Nearly 40,000 years they've been here. We cannot do justice to that, but I thought at least we must make them visible in the world, because right now they're quite invisible. Because in the rest of the world, maybe in America there is some knowledge about it, but in the rest of the world, Native American people means a bunch of young men who ride saddle-less, barebacked horses, scream all the time and shoot at anybody who comes their way and do terrible things. And of course, if you have some hair, they'll take your scalp. Mukesh, you're safe. So, this is not what they are, and they had well-established settlements. Place like Cahokia over 1,000 years ago, 40,000 people in one city. Just to give you a perspective, in the same period, in London, there were only 15,000 people population. Here, a Native American village had 40,000 people. 40,000 people cannot stay in one place without proper administration, without management, without a whole system of civilization. You cannot live together, 40,000 people. So, there are many aspects. I don't think we can ever bring forth all of them in a just manner to them. I'm sure many of them will feel we have not done justice to them. I don't think I can do justice to them. Only thing is, I want to make them visible. People should at least recognize there are people like this. There are people like this in the world who have lived on this land for a very long time, but today they're invisible. We want to make them visible. Well, you can't fix the past, but you can carve out a way for the future. That's all we can do. Nobody can fix the past. What happened yesterday cannot be altered today. But what we do tomorrow, some possibilities could be created. Hope we'll be successful in that in some way. And already there is visibility across the world. There is a lot of buzz in India, there's a lot of buzz. Mainstream media reporting big time about this, so which is good for them that they're becoming visible. And we will make sure, considering that today's world is run on internet in many ways, we will make sure they're visible in the next couple of years. We will make sure a lot of visibility comes. All of you strive to do whatever we can. See, we cannot… There is no point going into regret, going into guilt, going into something else. The only way to fix something is to compensate in some way with our lives. So, I would say whatever time that you spend on your social media, I don't know how many hours you are… Huh? You 6 hours a day? Whatever is your time, please spend 5% of your social media time to say something about these people. There's enough information, not just from us, there is enough information. Say something about them, to your friend, to your family, to somebody, that there are people like this. Not going on picking up the horrible things that happened, but something that is positive, something that is wonderful about them, the profoundness of who they are. And above all, they are very, very relevant today because they lived as land. They did not live upon the land, they lived as land. As the tree stands, they lived like that, just being a part of it. I think this is very, very relevant for this generation and the next. Environmental concerns are still in the textbooks, in the PhD thesis, somewhere in United Nations or somewhere like that. No, it has to come into people's hearts. For that, there is no better information, there is no better inspiration than the Native American people. Environment was in their heart. It occupied the whole of it. I think this needs to happen to this generation, if at all, if something significant needs to happen for our own well-being and our children's well-being tomorrow. This is very important.